about her.
Hey guys, so today I'm doing a quick kind of makeup, not tutorial, but just video, kind of like a get ready with me, showing you guys how I do my makeup on a regular basis. I actually don't wear makeup as much as I used to, but when I do, this is how I do it, and it's a very quick little routine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I usually start with a primer. Today I'm just going to use, I have samples of primers that I've had for so long, and these things, like when you can get them as like perks from Sephora's like little reward program, I get them and I just use them. I haven't bought primer in a long time. The one that I've been reaching for the most is this Makeup Forever Hydrating Primer, because my skin, I've been using some new things on my skin and it's just been very dry in certain areas, so I've been using that. But today I'm just going to use the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer because I don't find this one too drying. And it's just kind of weird how your skin changes, because before I always had the most oily skin, and now I definitely have very combination skin, so it's definitely some getting used to. And since this one's a little moisturizing, I kind of put it more in my dry areas. I just rub it in like lotion. And I hope the lighting doesn't change too much because it's very cloudy outside, so it keeps getting bright and dark, and I didn't want to set up my other lights because I like doing my makeup in natural light. Okay, and now that I have my primer on, the first thing I do is my brows. And as you can see, my brows aren't groomed at all, and I haven't had them, I usually get them threaded, but I haven't had them threaded in so long. So the trick I use is, sometimes I'll fill in a little bit with a brow pencil, and I'm not very picky. Usually I'll just use this e.l.f. one, or you know, if I had bought that Anastasia one, I'll use that. Just usually take the Anastasia brow gel and just kind of comb them up. And just kind of put them in some sort of shape. It's not going to be perfect at all. This one's a little dry. Just dryness everywhere. And this I can tell is running kind of low. Do you guys have brows that are completely two different shapes and textures? That's kind of how mine are. Okay, so that's the best I can do with the gel. And then I just take some concealer, and this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I take some and I put it on the back of my hand like this. And I take I have this like weird like concealer brush, if you guys can, if it'll focus on the brush. But I use this little brush, and I just dab it into the concealer. So I just conceal around it. And as you guys can see, I don't know why I have like weird breakouts around my brows. So I'm just creating like a cleaner line. And then I'll take a little bit more and I'll do the top as well. And I notice I can get away with doing my brows like this and not have to fill them in. I'm not really into the super perfect brows. Oops. Messed up a little bit. That's okay. And then I just take my finger and kind of blend the concealer. I don't know if you guys can really see the difference it makes. This brow compared to this brow. So, and then I'll usually just take a powder. Just take a powder. This is just a light, I don't know if you guys are like old school MAC people, but Heatherette collection, this is very, very old. And I've had this, been using this for years. It's just one of the beauty powders, but it's like the perfect kind of like highlighting powder, and I've just been using it as such. And I just place this over the concealer to kind of set that. Alright, that's one brow. I'm going to go ahead and do the other brow off camera really quickly, and then I'll come back with the foundation. Okay guys, I'm finished both brows, and they're definitely not perfect, but they are much better than before. They're just more groomed, more well put together. The next thing I do is a little bit of eye makeup, and I like to just use a cream shadow that's going to last. And this is I think I got these on clearance, or I'm not sure when I got these. This is Makeup Forever Aqua Matic. It's like a cream pencil, and it's just like this. And I love these things. I have this in a brown and a black, and I wish I would have gotten 2 brown ones because I use the brown one all the time. And all I do is just apply it to my lid. And this just gives me a little something on my eyes because I don't really wear like powder eyeshadows too much. I have a few that I really like, but eyeshadows are more for special occasions for me. So I just apply it liberally on my lids, and then I just take a finger and blend them out. Usually I will take this eyeliner, and I've had this for so long and it's like rubbed off, but this is like a Sephora, I think it's called like a waterproof, it's like a waterproof crayon. I'll try and link it below. Hopefully they still sell it because this has been a holy grail eyeliner for me for the longest. Kind of like a kohl crayon, and I just kind of put it on very sloppily, and then I take the other end, which is like a kind of like sponge, and I just smooth it out, and it just gives me a little bit more depth to my eyes. I don't know if you guys can notice the difference. I'm just going to do it on the other side. It out. And it's not too many pencils that or eyeliners that you can do this with that are long lasting, but also give you that just smudged in look. And sometimes if I'm being fancy, I will put a little bit on my bottom waterline, just on the outer corners, so I don't want to make my eyes look too this eyelash, I don't want to make them look too small or closed in. And my last step for my eyes is mascara, and this is just the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. This is a old school YouTube favorite, I would say, but I've always gone back to using this one. And I just do like a very thick layer on the top. And I love this mascara because it's very volumizing. Well, it's cheap, first of all. It's a drugstore one, and I think it's less than $7, which I feel like drugstore stuff is getting so expensive now. But this one has stayed pretty affordable, and it just makes my lashes look so nice. I'm gonna do this eye, and I'll probably go back for another quick coat. I don't know if you guys notice like how I'm holding the mirror. I like to look down when I'm doing my mascara. So I like to, this little mirror I got maybe from Walmart for very cheap, but it's a 10 times magnified mirror, and it helps me do my eye makeup so well, because you can get in those weird angles so that you can get every lash. And then since my eyelashes are naturally kind of curly, if some kind of move out of place, all I do is take my finger while the mascara is still drying and kind of just bend them back up. That works for me. I don't have to use an eyelash curler or anything. Alright, so the last couple steps is just my face makeup. The stuff that takes me the longest is doing my the things that take me the longest is doing my eyebrows and my eye makeup, and now that that's done, I'm just going to do my foundation, powder, and contour a little bit. So the foundation I've been using lately is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous foundation, and I like this drugstore foundation. It's less than 10 bucks, I'm sure, maybe only $6-7. The color I have is 315. And this, I didn't realize they were still selling it until recently. So I just take a nice amount there, and we'll see if that takes care of my whole face. It should. And I'm just using this this sponge, and this sponge I think is e.l.f. I think it's e.l.f. I usually like my beauty blender, but it's so old and falling apart, and I really need to get a new one. So I've been using this, and it's not as soft, but it does the job, and I'm using it damp. So I just go in and blend in my foundation. Then I just take a little concealer and I do a very little bit under my eyes. I don't do like that super thick triangle stuff, and just do a little bit around my mouth since my smile lines always try and poke through. And I'm just going to blend this in the triangular kind of pattern. And then I'm just going to take a powder to set everything, and all of the powders I've been using are in this True Black Radiance True Complexion contour palette. This thing is very loved. It's very dirty, and it just has my contour, powder, and highlight. And I don't really highlight too much. You can tell the one I use the most in here, but I use the middle one, and I'm just going to set everything. And I just like to use a flat brush for this because it gives you a little bit of coverage if you need a little bit more. I just feel like it blends everything together flawlessly. And this brush is an e.l.f. brush as well, so it's very cheap. I think they're only $3. So I'm just blending everything, blend down. Kind of pat it in over the places that you want to keep your coverage. You definitely just want to pat and not wipe. Okay, and that's it for the face powder. And now the contour, I just take this, I think this is like a Walmart brush, but it's like an angled, dense, it's more like a dense angled brush. And I just take this and dab it into the contour. This stuff is very powdery and pigmented, so you have to be very light-handed with it. And so I just put that in the areas in my cheekbones and my big forehead, kind of like around the perimeter of my forehead, and then under my chin to give me some depth. And I kind of blend it in that E3 sort of pattern. So I'll go around. I don't know if you guys can see the difference between this side and this side. It looks weird seeing it in the mirror just doing one half. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. So sometimes if I'm being fancy, I'll take the highlighter in here. Just take a little bit. This highlighter is very subtle, that's why I like it. I'm not a huge highlight person, and I'll just put it at the top of my cheekbones. And I'm just using a very small, like, mini stippling brush, and I think this is an e.l.f. brush as well. And I tend to stay away from highlight if I have any sort of breakouts or texture on my cheekbones. I don't want to highlight those, so I only use it when my skin is feeling good. I'm just blending that a little bit so it's not too patchy. And then lastly are my lips, and kind of like my everyday color, I just like this kind of pinky mauve color. This is a Stila Stay All Day liquid lipstick. The color, it's 60. I forgot what the actual color is. Amore, maybe? I think this was Amore, but it says 60 at the bottom. And this is just a liquid lipstick that stays on all day. And just put it on. You definitely need a good lip balm on under these. Okay guys, so here is my finished look. Sorry if the lighting keeps changing in this video. It's just a very cloudy, stormy day. It hasn't been raining, but these clouds have just been passing by my window the whole time I've been filming this video, so hopefully it's not too bad. But this is the finished product of my 10-minute makeup routine. It does usually take me about 10 minutes if I'm not filming, but of course since I'm filming it and talking to you guys, it takes a little bit longer. But I will link any of the products I can find for you guys in the description box, so if you're interested in any of these items, these are all things that I've used for a very long time. I'm not super adventurous when it comes to trying lots of new makeup products, so when I find something that works, I kind of just buy it over and over and over again. So I'll definitely leave my favorites in the description box for you guys. And please let me know if you guys have any other video requests or types of videos that you'd like me to film. You can let me know in the comments section. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.